Yo, it's ODB. This is ODB's Corner. Back with another shorter video. I'm going to continue these throughout the year and into the next year, so make sure you subscribe. I recently got home from SEMA 2023, which includes the Mini Truck Hall of Fame kickoff every Monday before SEMA, and that's hosted by Freaks of Nature at Hogs and Heifers. It's a unique experience to get to meet different individuals from the mini truck scene. And this year, I was able to meet Charles Armstrong. I had become friends with Charles through having him on as a guest with OLP, and it was a great honor to have him on in the past. Now, what I'm going to show you is, if you think about Charles Armstrong's truck, it was featured on January '03 Mini Truckin Magazine, issue 133, and May 2008, issue 197. What I did was I had Charles autograph my two copies. Now, I say my two copies. This was my personal issue that has my label on it. It wasn't, I didn't specifically pick this one. This one was for my non-cataloged batch. If I have duplicates, I take the nicest one out of those, and that goes into the main collection. But this one is on my kind of magazine rack. And what I did was I took this out, and I took this one out. Those two issues. So January '03, May '08. Now, I knew Charles was getting voted into the Mini Truck Hall of Fame. I actually had the honor of voting for him since I'm on the committee. So congratulations to Charles. The individual who announced him did a fantastic job, and you can go to the West Coast Influence Facebook page to watch that. It was a group effort on this build, and I'm honored to say that with OLP, we were able to plan ahead as we always do, and we ran Time Machine, as the truck is known, on our merchandise about 20 years to the time, if you will, pun intended, that Charles debuted the truck. Now, he debuted it at Pigeon Forge 2002, and we dropped our merchandise at Mini Nats 2022. I think it was, or was it '01 and 21? I think it was '02 and 22, but you get the point. The cool thing about it was, I'm going to show you a couple of photos and a little bit of video of Charles backing the truck into the Mini Truck Hall of Fame. If you don't know, he no longer owns this truck. Fester from Fester's Garage owns it, and Fester worked back with Tom Jenkins to bring the truck to the Mini Truck Hall of Fame ceremony, and Fester had, in fantastic fashion, he allowed for Charles to, of course, back the truck in, kind of drive it in, if you will, from where they had the trailer staged, back it in, air it out, and I have that video exclusively here on OLP.
I don't know, you might get the vehicle. Take a lap, come on back. Right back.
The photos was pretty cool. Again, I had been at shows around Charles, had never really talked to him. That was many years ago. After having him on OLP, we became friends, acquaintances, whatnot, and we've always kept in touch. He went on to purchase a '65 Lincoln Continental, which was awesome because I'm into those, aka the Lincoln Addict, and I was able to give him some advice pre-purchase, and then advice in terms of maintenance and necessary things to do. He went on to sell that car, and that was a great sale for him. But again, there's definitely a friendship, and I can't thank Charles enough for taking the time to autograph my two copies. Again, this copy was my personal copy, but that wasn't really necessarily the plan. Not only was he on the cover, he also has the insert photo there dragging, which is pretty cool. And if you want to see this entire issue, I'm going to link out to it at the end. You'll be able to follow the flip through. We're going through every issue of Mini Truckin Magazine, all 269. And then, of course, when Fester acquired it, he also owns Last Look. This was a unique copy that I owned because it possibly came in a bag, and if there's nothing printed here, that typically means that it was bagged and there was some sort of insert that said, hey, your subscription's about to end. But definitely a unique issue here with the white blank there. He signed it perfectly, and he said, to Jason, love the podcast. Charles Armstrong, of course, nicknamed the kid. So it was pretty cool to be there, boots on the ground. The other thing I had him sign, and it's going to be a little tough to show this, but I'll insert the photo. Speaking of our artwork, Back to the Future themed, right there. And we got the clock tower with the lightning strike, and some people would say, well, what's the tie-in there? Well, the truck is a time machine. And some of the video that I'll show you in just a moment, you'll see briefly on the tailgate, you know, you've got the clock, you've got hieroglyphics on the chassis, just an insane build overall, but very cool that we themed it out, working back with Graphic Disorder to have that overall Back to the Future theme that included the clock tower, the lightning striking, and kind of hitting the truck. So one of our fan favorites, if you will. Any additional merchandise that we have, check it out, ourlifestylepodcast.com. There's a link in the description if you want to make a purchase. And again, it may be limited because we typically don't reorder a lot of our stuff. So you got to get in with the pre-sale or shortly after. If there's a demand, we will reprint on some occasions. But again, I want to thank Charles Armstrong. He got voted in with Time Machine, and he's truly one of the greats in terms of his artistic ability. But in addition to that, one of the all-time great trucks. We could spend hours and hours talking about it, but I'll save you guys less than 10-minute video from ODB. This is ODB's Corner. Please consider subscribing. There's a lot more content coming. There's a ton of content already out there. Check us out via any podcast app. Just search OLP and tap follow or subscribe to Our Lifestyle Podcast. Tip of the cap, Charles Armstrong. Peace.